retired from the game. He announced his decision with a phone call to Hattie Collins on the 22nd of January. And for those of you totally unaware of this huge UK talent, all I can say is, where have you been? He's massive as an MC and producer. Wiley has been one of the hottest artists in the UK music game for over 5 years. He started his phenomenal career with the legendary Pay As You Go crew, with massive hits like Champagne Dance, which broke into the official top 20 UK chart, and underground classics like Noe as well. And then he moved on to the Roll Deep movement, which became one of the biggest crews to come out of the UK, and went on to make the Esky sound from the phenomenal success of the hit record Eskimo. I think that sold about 10,000-15,000 on the underground. Just try and beat that. And if that wasn't enough, he co-produced Dizzy Rascal Mercury Award-winning album Boy in the Corner, and then debuted with his own album Treading on Thin Ice, which was released back in 2004. And I've got to tell you, being around in that time, it was so exciting. That album there was heralded as one of the biggest albums to hit the grime scene, an underground classic with comparisons to Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt in terms of importance and standing within the scene. But right now, it's all come to a head, and the big man himself thinks he's had enough and is putting the mic down. And I know all of you are asking the same question that I'm going to be, is this true? Well, just to be sure, we've got the big man himself on the phone, absolutely live right now from somewhere in East London. Wiley fam, you there?
Yeah, what's going on?
Nice to have you with us. Thanks for taking time out. No doubt everyone out there, has been asking themselves a lot of questions today. They want to know, is this all true?
Yeah, say that again.
People want to know out there, is it true, 100% true, that the big man Wiley has retired from the UK music game?
Yeah, exactly. So I retired from the grime scene because I felt like it was time to move on and leave it to the youngers and the 20s, like, to deal with it and take over and fly the flag.
GetDarker.
But why would you want to do something like that? You're the top of the game. Everyone looks...
Because that's why. Because I don't want no one to knock me off the game so badly that I'll just leave. That is why. That's another reason why. And plus everything that goes on, it's just a lot of stuff that's happening, and I need to stop and then look in from that. Because imagine this, I've been doing it for all these years, and all the kids have been looking in from the outside. But I've never been looking in from the outside. I've always been looked at, and so now I'm stepping out and look back in, and you can see things much clearer. I used to wonder, why is everyone so, why do people sound fresh, or why do people, it's because they're looking in, and then they can see, so then they put a picture together.
I see what you're saying. They try and analyse other people's games and try and better it for themselves. But, there's always going to be pioneers, people that make that change. Because let's be realistic, before people like us, people like yourself, Wiley, there was no UK music game. Not on this level anyway. Exactly. You guys have obviously created something phenomenally big. It's quite clear that youngsters are going to be looking up to someone like yourself and try and be like you. But there's always only going to be one you. But is it the whole pressure of having to carry such a big scene from the UK on your shoulders that's got to you?
I know, and I can't, because I've got my own child. And imagine the grime scene, if you're a godfather of a grime scene, that means you're like a dad to thousands of people, and that's impossible. That's hard.
I know you said in the interview, that you had enough of people calling up your phone, asking for tracks, and when it's like, bruv, you know what, I'm on a project at the moment, I've got an album to do, they're like, we're coming for you, we're gonna, hunt you down, and threatening talk. Is that kind of attitude, really done it for
but
you?
That's not why I stopped, because obviously that's that comes to the territory. I actually laugh with that. I play that game back. But what I'm saying is that after a while, like, say if you're playing the game and you're pissing around in your ear, and then you have got responsibilities and you have got to bring up a child, then you can't be I can't be go radio and go out and do shit and then come home and try and be Mr. Nice Guy. Like, you have to be one or the other.
Right.
And that is why.
And I felt like that at certain times, you wake up in the morning.
Yeah, you have. We've even spoke, me and you, about the same thing.
That's what I'm saying. I remember V Festival down in Essex a year back, and I had a deep chat with you, and certain times I wake up in the morning and I think, you know what, I want to just be a normal guy. I want a 9 to 5, have everything clear cut. But then, like I was saying, you know, people like yourself are special. You're different. You've got that genius streak. Maybe that's what, you know, brings all the stuff around you to your game. Because, you know,
maybe. But then I look into it and I think I need a job as well, bruv. Like, obviously, I can earn a few grand there and a few grand there, but like, that is not what I want, bruv. I need a wage, and I need my life to be more concrete, because I'm still like 15 years old, but 28, and still just like running around, and I just feel like I've got to grow up a bit.
But do you think that's because of the music that you feel that age?
Yeah, because the music is, every music's generated and it's dominated by young people. So obviously, when I first come, I was young. To tell the truth, I've wanted to be a star since I was about 5 or 6 or 7, bruv. So therefore, like, when I was a little boy and I saw other little kids sing or whatever they did, it always made me want to do it. So imagine, I'd wanted to do it since then. Like, watching Americans, watching Usher, Little Boy, watching all these people, like, even all the R&B, all the hip-hop and all that. I wanted to do it since then. But then, obviously, in England, it happened for me at, like, 18, 19. And I started to get a name at 15, but 18, 19, I got my first deal. And it's like 8, 9 years later, innit? And I'm just tired, bruv.
Well, you know, you've got to remember, like, you're just talking about the Americans there. One thing I've noticed as an independent DJ, you know, outside all of this looking in, people have never really, like, you know, you've never aged in people's eyes. You were just still the biggest, as you have been from day one. And if you look at America, look at Jay-Z. He's in his mid-30s, Jay-Z. And, you know, his biggest hit right now...
Jay-Z's nearly 40, bruv.
Well, bruv, look... And he's got hits out there, top-selling albums, and he's letting you know 30 is the new 20. That's what he's dealing with.
Nah, but bruv, you know what? 30 can't be the new 20, because if you can jump around at 30, yeah, and not look at like your own life and realise what's right and wrong, then that you've got a problem, bruv. Like, at 20, you can do at 20, yeah. But when you're 30 years old, if you can't see where your life's going, see, that's why, because Jay-Z's a million billionaire, when you got money and you're a million billionaire, it don't matter what the age you are, that's the truth, because you can just have fun all the way in it. But when you've got responsibilities and stuff, you have to look at it, because otherwise you'll run. Do you know what I realised the other day? No one I know, his mum and dad are together, and guess what? My mum and dad weren't together first. And sometimes I sit there and think, like, why ain't they together? Why weren't they together? Then I look at it and think, this is why. Because guess what? Your dad is your dad, your mum's your mum. But they have children. But when they have children, imagine if they split up or whatever. Whichever one splits up or for whatever reason, one goes on and carries on doing what they're doing, and the other one goes on and carries on what they're doing. So, like, nothing will stop you from doing what you're doing. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely, I see that.
Just do whatever it's going to do, ever. But then, why wouldn't he do, or she, stop and do the right thing instead of just doing it for themselves? Because I could keep being Wiley, but then that's like, it's a really cold world. It's a lonely world to be Wiley, and you have to be on this thing every day, and when people try, you have to run up the radio, and it's just a lot of stuff to be Wiley, honestly.
Now, definitely, it sounds like so much is on your plate. I'm not going to lie, you've done a lot for the game. You know, like I was saying, you've been the biggest for 5-6 years straight. And when Richard Vibe V interviewed you right here on the Blueprint last year in July, you know, you're in the process of releasing a ton of Vision mixtapes, and you just put out Phase 2. And, you know, you were very positive and upbeat about the future. And, you know, you were saying, you know, like, you felt you were left behind in the game with people like Dizzy Rascal and, you know, Kano getting a lot of good light that you should have maybe received. Is that still playing on your mind?
Not really, because obviously them two, I've got love for them too, and obviously I've got faith in them that they will do good music. But obviously, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say like them two got light that I never got, or I didn't get the light they got. I would just say that I've achieved, and then I hope they achieve. And at the end of the day, when we're all over 30, if you say 30 is the new 20, when we're all over 30, maybe we'll collaborate or something. But really, I looked at the game as well, and I said, you know what? The 4 people at the top of the game, Wiley, Lethal, and Kano and Dizzy, don't even work together. So where is the game going?
And that is a very, very big point, you know, because, you know...
That's what I said, bro.
Definitely, because, you know, we've had countless chats in Uptown Records and stuff, you know, when I'm saying, Wiley, man, you're the guy, you know, you got to lead these youths, these up-and-comers in the right direction, you know, I've always been at you on that kind of thing, because I feel strongly that people, you know, look up to you. But, you know, being the leader of the game, do you feel that the future is dead?
It's not dead, but it just needs a new leader who's got another 15 years. Do you know what I am gonna do? I'll tell you the truth. You see Ice Kid, yeah?
Yeah.
See who I'm putting my gift and giving my gift to? That is who I'm giving it to. Because that kid's got 15, he's 15 years old. Ice Kid from West London, yeah? He's 15, and I'm going to be doing his album with him and trying to do work. And that is what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. If I can find a 15-year-old who is so good, he makes me excited about the music that we could do, then that shows you that if I work, so that same kid who's 15 today, if I put all my energy into him now, by the time he's like 16, 17, 18, 19, by the time he's 20, he'll be the guy, bro.
Would you feel like, what do you feel you can't do the both, push yourself and the new talent coming through?
You can't, because it's a kid's game, Cam. Imagine this, it's a kid, like you're a star when you're young. Not when you're old. When you get old, it fades out, bro.
Yeah, but I'm feeling that, that's the personal thing you're going through, because, we've all been there, but from my point of view, playing out across the UK on One Extra, that's so not the case, bruv. You just have to go on the forums to see the amount of love that you've got and how people are so disappointed, and it's like people are saying, where's the game going to go without Wiley, our equivalent of Jay-Z? So I personally don't believe that is true, because he wouldn't be the biggest MC right now if that was the case.
I know, but see, I'm the biggest MC one day. The next day is the day. You know what? No one's the biggest MC, because you know what? It changes every day, bro. Because you see the top 10, the top 10 changes every day.
Yeah, but you're always in the top 3 or top 2.
Yeah, but no, Cam. If I don't do work, I'm not, bro. That's what I respect. I respect that if I'm not working for 7 months, but Ghetto is, that it will shine, it will be seen, it's visible. Obviously, I do work, so that's me working is not the thing. It's just that, and also I feel like there is money, but there ain't no money yet. There's no money in being an artist yet in this scene. But once I get over the wall with the business side, and I turn it around for all the kids, they'll be rich, then it'll be a different story. But there ain't no money in it either, really.
Well, you got to remember, when something like this happens, so much media hype is surrounding this right now. It's everywhere. Rewind Magazine, the One Extra team, the forums, and a lot of people have their views and their voice in that. And one of the things that people are saying, which I picked up on, is there's some people on the forums saying this is clearly a publicity stunt. Man thinks he's Jay-Z and that it doesn't believe that you're going to retire.
It can't be Jay-Z, because Jay-Z's 38 and I'm 28, so I've got 10 years on Jay-Z. So I'm not pulling a Jay-Z stunt. What I'm doing is I'm listening back to everything I've said, everything I do. I'm listening to what everyone says to me and I've realised that everyone's just talking rubbish, innit? So then, therefore, I'm trying to. I don't want to talk rubbish anymore. I just want to grow up out of it. If you see what I mean.
Wow, man.
I want to grow. I want to do different stuff. I don't know, man.
Well, don't you think, you can grow as an artist? Because, you've got your album dropping very, very soon. The next album, Playtime, is over.
That's my last album. It's
due out in April, It's going to be your last album ever, as you're saying. But, but how's that going to affect your deal with Big Dada?
No, because it's only one album anyway, with an option if I decide, or if they decide, in which case I wouldn't have to do another solo. I could do whatever I wanted to do. But this is my last solo album. And I want it to be, man. I want it to be, bro. Because I'm going to be rich, do not worry. But I just need to do something else. This ain't the way, bro. This ain't the grime scene, ain't the way. It's good for a kid. If you're 15 years old and you're heavy, in this day and age, it's good. Because you can get rich, of course you can. But for me, I need Big P, bro. And this not here.
You're going to keep producing beats, is that right?
Yeah, but what? I don't know what, make beats. No one pays for them. Do you know what I mean, innit? Our system ain't right, bro. If I can make beats for 20 people, if they ain't got the money to pay for it, then I've just made them beats, innit? And that's what it is. Maybe I've looked at the game as money. I'm looking at it as money now, and not for fun, maybe, innit?
Now, definitely, I feel like that a lot of the times, we're building something for the next generation, which is basically what you're saying. And, we're going to see the fruits of that maybe in 10 years when guys like us will be the big daddies of the game.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
But, with some of your immense talent, what are you going to do once you leave the music game?
Yeah, see, I told you I'm gonna work with Ice Kid, and I'm just gonna make sure that he receives the gift that I'm giving him, and I'm gonna make sure that because obviously I need someone who I need to plant another seed in it, not just leave. Like, I'm not just gonna leave and then leave. I'll plant seeds and they'll be doing stuff, and obviously I'll be reaping the reward. But I just had enough, bro. Look, look at this. This is another reason. Look at this, yeah. Imagine this. I go to Carnival, yeah, one extra this year.
Yeah.
Not even. Went to Carnival. I looked up. I wanted to do a thing. They wouldn't let me on there. Why wouldn't they let me on there? Because if I go on there and sing Gangsters, and then the 100,000,000 kids who's in the thing go sick and start going mad, it's my fault. That's what I mean when I say we've created a monster.
No, I definitely see that, and it's also society. It's not just institutions.
Yeah, exactly,
it's the way modern day people are, whether they're young or old. The attitudes on the roads in general. It's not just to do with music or anything, or art. It's not even yourself. It's just society.
No, music influences them. You can't say it's not to do with music, because it does. Because if anyone on the road, kid or boy or man who thinks they're rough, they got something to do with listening to D Block or Dipset or something. Bro, I've noticed it. Or they think that it's something. It's not just you don't just think you're bad for nothing. Trust me, bro. It's something that makes you think it. Like, you listen to a tune, he said something, then you think, yeah, that's me, and then you know what I mean, innit? Everyone's like that.
Wiley, maximum respect for taking time to talk to us.
Yeah.
I personally hope you change your mind, and I know a lot of people across the UK are feeling that, because you're one of the shining lights in the UK movement, the UK music for the last 5 or so many years, and we'll wait and see what happens. All the best with your album. Playtime is over.
Definitely.
Due out in April, and we've got a little montage of all your hits, all the classics that you made over the years. If you're still locked, check it out. See what we're going to be missing from you. But once again,
definitely.
Thanks very much. Is there any shouts you want to give?
Yeah, I want to big up Ice Kid. I want to big up the movement, big up Roll Deep, and big up Boy Better Know. And just big up everyone in grime. Keep going. Don't give up. I mean, just don't give up the fight and whatever. Just keep going. That is what I want to say.
That was the Wiley live on the phone. Maximum respect for Cameo and all the One Extra team to the main man, Wiley. Some big news there, of course.